organized this project and conducted the first session on 6th of May for final year undergraduates of the department. As NUTA, it is one of our priority to take care of the NUTA community, and I believe this session will add a value to your life, especially in current COVID pandemic situation. During the last week, we could cover 4 sessions on this theme with the help of several resource people. Today is the final session, and we thought to open this for all NUTA members. It will not be a continuation of the previous session, and a resource person will use this session to give you a broader view of how yoga and meditation can help to our lives. So I will invite Dr. Nandula, head of the department, to share his opinion with the audience. Dr. Nandula, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Jayamali. First of all, I would like to thank MUTA for coming forward with such a short notice to help us financially as well as to uplift the morale of the students by arranging several positive thinking sessions. And I believe today is the final session, and I hope that these sessions have benefited the students immensely. And also I would like to point out that MUTA has been a strength to the department since its inception, and I hope that it will continue to do so. And also I would like to point out that the unity, interaction, and active involvement of all MUTA members will be the key in the success, and also it will be the strength to the department as well as the entire textile community. So I hope that MUTA will work in the future as well to strengthen the welfare and also other needs of the community and the department, and I hope that you will all support us in our future endeavors. I wish you good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nandula. Now I will invite Dr. Revini to introduce our today's resource person. Dr. Revini, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Jayamali. Unleash yourself to blissful well-being with the essence of yoga. It's a pleasure for me to introduce our resource person today. Nirvana Fernando is one among the few registered yoga trainers in Sri Lanka. She is an international certificate holder for yoga training. Having spent most of her career in advising and motivating people, Mrs. Nirvana Fernando is a dedicated yoga trainer who guides people to improve their physical and mental well-being. I would like to warmly welcome Nirvana Fernando on behalf of MUTA and Department of Textile and Apparel Engineering. Over to you, Mrs. Nirvana Fernando.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. I hope you all are in a good manner today, and this is the continuation of last time. I hope I would be able to change your mind in some certain level with my thoughts and guidance. So as a continuation, I would like to share about yoga and how you can get into meditation. Yoga is beyond the religion. There is no barrier for yoga, but people are not aware of yoga. Yoga is more deeper than physical, mental, and emotion. Yoga is the way of life, how the human being need to set up his life in this planet with the other animal beings. Only human is in a higher revolution. So what is the difference between animal and human? We have a mind, but they don't have. As a human being, as you have body and mind, you should learn yoga to understand your life purpose, why you are in this planet as a human being. Animal does not know why they are going to die. Human can understand and will be able to feel the pain and will be knowing what is the reason. Why are we going to die? They also have the fear and the pain, but they don't know the reason. They just leave this body with pain and without knowing the reason. We leave the body with pain and we know the reason. When you start to do yoga, you will know about your physical understanding, about your physical body. You can upgrade your internal body. You will understand what is happening inside you and around you. You will be able to create the awareness, the moment of your life, every moment of your life. If you are a yogic, only you will have this understanding. What is happening to my life? Why these problems are coming? Why I'm getting this pain? Otherwise, you are just a living being. So for animals, they have 4 needs. What are the 4 needs they have? They wake up, then they work for food and accommodation, and they have sex to produce their population, and they will sleep. But for us, we also do those things. But other than that, we have physical, mental, and emotional needs. That is, you have to understand clearly. And you can be able to think what is happening to the life. Yoga will give you the possibility and understanding to your life. You will give the solution. Yoga will give all the solution for your problems, which is connecting with your body, mind, and deeply with your soul. The World Health Organization gives the definition of the well-being, how you should live. I mean, how you can be a well-being person. You should mentally, physically, emotionally, and soulfully complete yourself. Then only you can be a successful and healthy, a well-being human being. So how can you attract your life towards yoga practice? Initially, you will engage with yoga because you have some problem in your body, or some may have stress, some may have some kind of pain in their body, or you will face the life test, I mean the problems in your day-to-day life. You want to get rid of it. You want a clear mind. So because of those things, some will come into this yogic life, the practice of yoga. There should be a valid reason. There should be a turning point in your life that people should come into this practice. Otherwise, they are just living. Normally 99% people want to go externally. They want to be an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or a politician. Those are all external ambitions to the human life. But yoga, it is different. In this yogic culture, there are 64 arts. It says in the Yogic Vedas, the ancient books which has written about yoga, the art to become a doctor, and art to become any profession, or to be a politician, and they have written how to become a thief. That is also one of the art. To be an IT professional or soldier, writer, they all comes under that 64 arts. Or some can read others' mind. That is also comes under that art. But they have not included yoga under that 64 arts, because all the 64 arts represent your external life. If you focus one art, if you focus that you want to be a doctor and you become a doctor, that is one of the art, and you can master in that field, then you can be a very popular person. Number one doctor or number one engineer. But there is a limitation. What is that limitation? One day, you can be out of this art, out of this level. You cannot be the number one doctor every day. When you are 60 or when the time has come for you to get retired, then you have to get away from this art. You cannot be the number one doctor or the engineer. You need to retire. You have to replace your position. Someone will come and fill that position. That is the external life pattern. But if you understand within you and do your yoga, you can be a yogic person or a spiritual person. Then all that external people, all the number ones in the world will come after you, come around you. You may have heard the world number one yogis who are living in Himalayas. All the doctors, the politicians, the ministers, the president, they are in front of them. So why they are going and saluting them? Because the yogi has understand who is he. If I tell about yoga, then there are so many styles of yoga you can learn. Before starting anything, you have to understand when you connect with the yoga teacher or institute, there's one kind of style is Kriya Hatha Yoga, which I'm following. And there's Vinyasa, then Ashtanga Yoga, then Yin and Power or Restorative Yoga and Yoga Therapy. You can connect with either way, either style. So these are all physical-based yoga in the modern world. You may have seen on the web or the YouTube, they all shows you the physical movements, physical-based yoga. So I'm asking you to connect with one style, connect with them. You can connect with our institute or with any other which is closer to you, and start doing yoga. Then you will understand. Now you have become a materialistic person. I mean, you have fulfilled your ambition. Some have become an engineer, or some are in the way of achieving their ambition. So I'm asking to balance your life. Give time to yoga, then you will understand the life purpose. I'll tell you further in my talk what are the benefits. So when you start doing this physical based yoga, you can master your physical body. Once you come to a certain level that when you have the control of your body, you can do pranayama. Last day I shared with you to get the help from pranayama to have a clear mind with this situation. I mean, but I'm asking you, after mastering the asana, the postures, the poses only, you will be able to do pranayama. Otherwise, you can do pranayama, that is just breathing exercises. Pranayama means you are controlling your breath. So you have to learn that under a teacher or a master, a yogic person. You have to first learn to get the control of your body. Then only you can master the breath. That is touching your mental, the emotional part. So then only I'm asking you to do meditation. Because when we master the body, the poses, then you can sit for some time. To do meditation, you have to sit on one sitting posture for more than 20-30 minutes. Then when you master that, you will be able to stay for 3 hours in the same position. So then only you will be able to do the correct meditation. So when you go to a yoga class or a place or institute, they will help you to master your body and to start the pranayama, and will give some initial steps to do meditation. Why we have to master this mind also? Because mind is doing 2 things. Every time it compares with others, and it is giving you continuously the thoughts, the waves. It's like a wave. It's coming and going, coming and going. So you have to get the control of this. Then meditation means without the mind, you are living for some hours or some minutes. Then you will be in some sort of level of your life. Then you don't complain anything that the bodily or the mindly or the life's test that you have to face. You know, the mind is giving you cunningly. The mind is living in your body. The body can live alone without the mind, but mind cannot live without the body. So you are not this body or the mind. So these external things which you have achieved, that is, your mind has told you, and you, with the help of your body, you have achieved. If your daily routine, what you have to do, if it is stressful, then I'm asking you to do sun salutation. Last time I demonstrated it. Today also I will demonstrate it for you. If you are a family man, then you don't have much time to do yoga, then you do sun salutation. Then you will be able to manage your time and try to do it early morning. Why I'm telling this? There are so many benefits if you start doing sun salutation. It gives you the strength, flexibility to your body, and it will turn your body, tone your body. People are going to some places to gym or other exercise places to externally get this benefit. But you can do it alone. If you know the poses, then you can practice alone. And also it will open your hamstrings, which you will be able to walk properly without any pains in your legs. And also it will open your shoulders, your chest, and as well as it will release the tension that you are facing nowadays. It also lubricates your joints. Some people are complaining the joint pains. And also, if you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure, it will help you to improve your blood circulation. And if you are suffering from diabetes, so it will bring down the blood sugar level also and improve the metabolism. Those are some of the benefits that you will get if you start doing this sun salutation. I'm asking you to do it when you start first day, only do 3 to 6 times. Then day by day, you are gradually increasing the rounds of your doing. Then try to reach up to 12 rounds. Then continuously do it for 21 days, 12 rounds of sun salutation every morning before you do anything, any work. Continuously do 21 days. Then it is a normal habit of your daily routine. Then you will get this benefit. You don't need to go to a doctor when you have joint pains, or then if you have any illness, if you are currently suffering from those diseases or those ill health, you can gradually reduce your unhealthy level. You can be a healthy person and you can reduce the dosage of your tablets or the medicine. This is through my experience I'm telling. My students have told me, they have shared with me that they have reduced the level of insulin which they are using after doing yoga. It helps you to produce insulin within yourself, and then the blood circulation also and the joint pains, which people are calling arthritis, you can get rid of that. So I'll demonstrate sun salutation. First, you have to you have to stay like this, standing pose. We call this Tadasana. Then you take your hands in front of your chest. You inhale and exhale. Then with the next inhalation, you raise your hands up and do a small back bend. Then while exhaling, you bend forward. Then you bend your knees and keep the hands down. You take the right leg back and keep the knee down. Then you look forward and inhale. Then you raise the right knee up and take the left leg back. You come to this high plank position. Then you keep the knees down and chest and chin down. Then you raise the upper body. Then you raise your knees up and your head goes in. Then you keep your left knee down and take the right leg forward. Now we are doing the reverse pose. You take a breathe here. Then you walk forward and bend down. Exhale. Then while raising the hands, you take the next inhale, bend back, and exhale the salutation. This consists of 12 poses. I'll demonstrate it again. You inhale and exhale here. Then with the next inhale, you do a back bend. Then bend forward, exhale. Then bend your knees and keep the hands down. Take the right leg back, keep the knee down and inhale. Then you raise the right knee and take the left leg to stay on high plank. Then you are moving on to next pose. Knees, chest and chin down. Then you raise the upper body, inhale. Then you tuck your toes and raise your knees. You come to this mountain pose. You stay like a mountain. Right. Then you are walking forward. Left knee down, right leg forward. You inhale. Walk forward and bend down. Exhale. Inhale up. Do a small back bend. Exhale. Salutation in front of your heart. Okay. You can search on the web or the YouTube and you will be able to learn how to do it. Right? This is small exercise for you. These consist of 12 poses in yoga. You better start doing this. Anybody can do. You won't be able to do it as I did, the perfectly, or you may stay stuck in one place, but it doesn't matter. Try to do the way you can move your body. If you can go to an institute or a yoga teacher, then he or she will help you to do it properly. And once you start doing, you will get the flexibility and your body will help you to do the poses. So before coming to the perfect asana, the way you can understand how your body can move, start doing it. So if you are a beginner, I'm asking you, if you can go to a class, go for 3 days. Find time and go for 3 days. And if you are an intermediate person, I mean, if you are in this yogic practice, you know the basics and you have started doing yoga, I mean the sun salutation, go for at least 4 to 5 days per week. You will understand. You will understand the benefit and you will aware of your life. And if you are really understand yoga and if you really have an interest, do it 6 times. You can do it at home even. If you can, twice a week you go for a class, then you practice at home. Or once a week you go and you practice at home. So, and if you practice for 6 days, then you give 1 day a rest to your body. And you can do a oil massage to your body. And you can cool your body. When you do yoga, the body will give you heat. You will feel the heat. That is yogic heat. So in some certain level, you can't maintain that heat. So you have to cool down your body. With the help of oil massage, you can cool down, and especially your food pattern. That is why most of the yogis, the real yogis, they all are vegetarian. Because there are 3 types of foods in yoga. They explains. I'll explain it. So with that help, you can cool down your body. So yoga is 20% physical and 80% is your food pattern and your positive attitude and your positive thoughts, and you have to have a deep sleep. So nowadays, I'm getting the questions. They don't have the deep sleep. Some are complaining that I couldn't sleep properly. So that means you have stress in your body and mind. So you should sleep at least for 6 hours without any disturbances. Please at least try to go 10 p.m. to bed and have a deep sleep. So, and the other thing, when you do the poses, if you feel any physical stiffness, that is, you are emotionally stuck. So with the help of yoga, you can reduce or you can get clear this emotional stuff. You are storing, the mind is very happy to store all the memories, especially the negative ones. So you don't know, when you grow old, your body is getting stiff and you can't move the body. So that is because you have stored the emotions. Yoga is helping you to cleanse all your emotions. Then you will be able to move your body. You won't get the joint pains or any kind of pain in your body or mentally. I'm asking, if you have 2 hands and 2 legs, you can do yoga. There are some poses that if you are suffering from some kind of disease, the yoga teacher or the master will tell you that you should not follow these poses. But sun salutation, it is the simple asanas, the poses, which anybody can do. then you will get the fully awareness of your life. What is happening within me and around me. So I'm taking the topic into the food pattern. Normally, the real yogis, they eat only once. They take only one meal and they are on meditation. So when you do meditation, you won't feel hungry, and you do not need to have food because your mind and body is feeling through this meditation. It is calming yourself because the mind cannot eat your body or your energy. There is no mind. That's why. But normal people, they have 3 meals. Maybe if you are in stress or any kind of illness, you may eat all throughout the whole day. So you cannot control your mind. Whatever you see, you start tempting and you start eating. So when you are in this pattern, the practice, the yogic practice, you can control this. Otherwise, I have heard and seen all the other exercise people, they give and the nutrition, I mean the dietitian give you the diet plan also, but you cannot follow that because your mind is controlling you. But when you start doing yoga, you can control your mind and you will do what is good for your body and mind and to your life. So there are 3 types of food. Sattvic food, that is which can calm your mind. It increases your energy. Those are the yogic food. And it builds stamina and enhance the vitality. What are these? The fruits, vegetables, herbs, the whole grain, pulses, honey, and all the dairy products. So it should be fresh and natural. So then what are other food type? The Rajasic food. Those foods are, we call stimulating foods. That the bitter, the salty, or the hot ones that stimulate your mind and your body. You will feel something when you, after you eating these food, you will get a feeling. And it that body is causing a restless imbalance, and it will cause you illness also. What are those? That is onions, garlic, tea, coffee, chocolate, white flour, that means kottu, paratha, those things. Then meat, fish, eggs, and alcohol and tobacco. So then the last one, tamasic foods. That is the food which have overcooked or burned or fried or the barbecue. Such foods are used to create feelings of lethargy and dullness and lack of control that may lead to the overeating and ill health, and also the drugs. So I'm asking, every day you are feeding your body, then you have to give a break. That means once a week you do fasting. Gradually you can come into this level because you all are intellectual people. I mean, you all are using only your intellect, not the body or the emotions. So you can control, and if you are into this practice, once a week you can do the fasting, which will help you to cleanse your body. Now last day also I shared with you some pranayama. Today I'll share this. This is the normal basic meditation which you can do. If you really want to do meditation, you can just sit whatever position that you will be able to sit. It is good if you can sit at like this, the half lotus or the siddhasana or the lotus position or virasana or vajrasana. Then you just softly close your eyes. You can keep your palms upward on your thighs and relax the shoulders and relax all your body muscles and softly close your eyes. Then you just let the breathing happen. I mean, just the inhale and exhale. Then you are going to count your breathing. When it is inhaling, the air is going inside you and it is coming out. Then you say 1. Then again the second one. You are counting your breathing. Likewise, you can do up to 108 times. So you are in the latter part of this meditation. I mean, you are into the first step of it. Gradually, then you can master this. It won't take long time to count 108. So start with that. You can do it at home. You can practice your own. So then it is the basic of meditation. So people think that meditation is for the old people. When you get retired from your job, you go to a meditation or ashram or any center or a temple and you start doing meditation. No, you have to start at this age, at this young age. You are busy for external life, so you don't have time for this. But you have the energy. If you think about the old age, you don't have energy, but you have time. So I'm asking you, if you want to be a healthy person, if you want to live a happy life, start doing it today. Don't wait till you get retired. Then you have lived your life and you have externally gathered everything. You have achieved everything, but you don't get the happiness in your life. Yoga helps you to balance your time and energy, the day-to-day life. Some may tell that I don't have time to do my work. The working ladies, they say that they have to take care of the children, the home things and the office and everything, the marketing, cooking, and they say, we don't have time. But if you start doing yoga, you will be able to understand that you are getting more time for yourself. Everybody has this 24 hours per day. So I'm asking you, we were taught only to sleep 8 hours. Have a sleep, give a rest to your body, 8 hours. Then work for 8 hours. Then after that, give 8 hours for yourself. What can you do for yourself? You can cleanse your body. you have time to do yoga. That will help you to cleanse your body and the mind. And you can do meditation, and you can do the basic pranayama. Then you can do your prayers or the religion ways, the saying gathas, or you can listen to that. Then you can read a book which will increase your knowledge, or you can go to some places, or a temple or a meditation place, or you can go to your garden if it is calm and quiet. Then you give time for yourself. So you are then a balanced person. You won't be able to do it at straight away 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work, 8 hours for yourself, but you will find time for yourself. Gradually you will be understand. When you are traveling, you will be able to read, or when you are traveling, you will be able to listen, or else if you are traveling in a private vehicle, you will be able to stay with yourself, and the meditation is you are living at this moment. So you are living with the awareness. How to understand whether you are having stress or not? You will get aware that your breathing pattern. If your breath is slow, that means you are on stress. That means your mind is eating your energy. Then what will happen? You will feel stress. We have 2 lungs, this size of lungs, and which consist of 3,000 rooms in each lung. So normal person, if you are not practicing yoga, then when you breathe, you only breathe half of this. Only 1,500 of rooms you are using. Then you will feel stress. But if you practice yoga, you will be able to use the 100% of your lung capacity. Then you can automatically get rid of stress. So I'm sharing another pranayama which you can practice if you want to if you are suffering from stress or you feel stress, to get rid. You can do it when you go to bed before you sleep. You can lie down on the bed, or you can sit it like this, and you take your index fingers and you put it into your ears. Then you turn up your hand like this. Then you inhale through your nose. When you exhale, you make the sound B like this. You can hear this sound when you close and lock your ears. You can hear that sound inside within yourself. So try to keep the exhalation at least for 20 seconds. Then it will help you to get rid of stress, and it will calm down your thoughts, the waves, and it will help you to have a good sleep. So do it, start with 16 times. Then gradually you can increase up to 32 times. Sometimes maybe halfway, when you are closer to 16, you may have gone into the deep sleep. So do it, the Brahmari Pranayama. You put your index finger inside and turn upward. Then inhale through your nostrils and exhale through your nostrils while making the sound B through your mouth. Like that. Okay. then this we called the stress is a virus. So you have to cleanse that. You have to cleanse your software and hardware. So the yoga will help you to format your body and the mind. So the stress is that your hardware and software has the mess up there. So it is not working properly. So you have to format the internal thing. So this pranayama is like an antivirus. So it will help you to get rid of this stress virus. Okay. And if I say this yoga is the beyond the duality. Duality means good and bad, and joy and the stress and pleasure. You will understand that you won't go after having pleasure, and you won't go work your body. You will not use your body and mind until you get stressed. So if you are in yoga, you will go beyond that. You will get the real happiness. So nowadays, the modern man, the westernized man, not these Western people. Westernized means you are away from nature. Normally, the yogic people, the Sri Lankan people were yogic people. They were closer to the nature. But now the westernized people have introduced the way of life, and they have put us into this stressful life. So as I told you last time, try to connect with the nature whenever you can. That means one way is you are going into the nature and get connected, and the other ways you are living according to the nature. That means you have to wake up before sunrise. All the animals, they sleep on time. They won't awake like us till 2, 3 or the midnight. They will sleep. When the sun is setting, they are in their places or the houses, and they are about to sleep. So try to wake up before sunrise. I hope you all are waking up. And get connected with the nature. Then take care of your physical and mental and emotional body. That means you also part of nature. So if you are taking care of yourself, then the nature will take care of you. If you are not taking care of your physical and mental and emotional bodies, then you are going into the unhealthy lifestyle. So it will affect on others also. The other people, they are also the part of nature. So then if you are ill because of your life pattern, nobody will come and help you. So try to live according to the nature. This yoga will help you to live according to that. If you have some kind of blocks or the illnesses, yoga will help you to get reduced from it or get out of it, and to live a normal life. So this time, this pandemic time, the nature is waiting for you to have a change in your lifestyle. It says the nature will, if you are with the nature, then nature will protect you. So I'm telling you, the COVID also like that. You don't have to get scared about it if you are connected with nature, right? So if you are living in AC room or the air conditioned environment and you are away from nature, so you are there's some kind of presentation that you will get effect with this. So the people who are with the nature, they can face this, right? That means you are a native person, nature person, and nature is protecting you. Nature means the others or this whole universe. So I'm telling you again, you have to do, if you want to start doing the other poses, the asanas, other than sun salutation, you have to have a guidance from a good teacher. You can connect with my institute. You can get the contacts from the organizers, and then yoga will help you. Then if you are under guidance, then the master or the teacher will help you to understand your mistakes and upgrade your journey. So you are into the healthy, you are going to be a healthy and a well-being person. So you are in this journey if you want to start doing yoga. So until then, until you find a correct or a good person, start doing sun salutation and the normal pranayama. Try to have at least 10 to 20 minutes for yourself, the yogic practice. Then you will be able to do meditation. Meditation is the solution for all your mental problems and your physical problems. So all have, the doctor is telling you that you have this disease or this illness, but I'm telling you, you have the symptoms of that, right? When you have that, when you get the disease, you will die, right? You think that you all have symptoms, so you can get rid of it. So if you are suffering from any illness at the moment, think that you are having only the symptoms. One day I will get rid of this and I will be a healthy person. So this nature or the universe or the others will help you to come into that level. These pharmaceutical people, they give you tablets for your body pains and for your mental pains. But that is a temporary solution. So if you start doing yoga, you can get rid of all the pains for your lifetime. So for the meditation, you have to master these asanas, then you will be able to sit on this any of the sitting poses, then you will be able to do the correct meditation. So what are the benefits that you will get after doing yoga? People will ask from the friends who are doing yoga what they have got. My students are telling that they feel the joy and happiness in their life, and they tell me that now they are healthy, and also they can face any obstacle in their life, all the problems that they have to face. Then some have got I mean the sugar level down. I mean one recently texted me and told me that it has come to the normal level, now 97 only. So, and she's continuously doing yoga, and she'll be able to continuously have that normal level up to now. So she's happy. Earlier she was using insulin externally, and then one has gone down 7 kilos after practicing yoga more than 3 months. Sorry. Then arthritis. Some came with these ankle pains and the knee pains. Then after practicing yoga, they were able to get rid of it. And sorry. And also they say that the sense of calmness in their life, and they feel easy physically, emotionally, and mentally. Now they are not stuck in anything. They have the flexibility in their body, mind, and so those are some of the things that they share with me. And if you want, I will demonstrate some of the asanas, but it is good if you go to a teacher, or if I'm teaching you, I want to see you personally. I mean, I want to see your body, how it works. Then only I will advise you to do the poses. If you record and do what I'm demonstrating here, it's not good, because you have to have an understanding about your body and mind, the life pattern. Then only I will recommend you to do the asana, the other ones other than the sun salutation. So if I share some of the asanas, there's one asana called the shoulder stand, which will help you to get rid of, if you're suffering from headaches, you can get rid of it. And if you're having the neck pains, and also it is good for the high blood pressure. Then we have the half fish pose. That is also good if you are having any neck injuries. That is also good. And it is good for the, if you have any sleeping disorders, that half fish pose is good. Then we do bow pose. That is good for your abdominal muscles, good for the back muscles, and also for the migraine and insomnia. Then we do halasana. That is good for those who are suffering from asthma and high blood pressure. Then we do bhujangasana. That is good for back injury. And also, if you have a pain here, the carpal tunnel syndrome, that is also good, and also for the headaches. Then we do in classes the half wheel. If you are really flexible, you will be able to do it from the first or 2 days in your yogic practice, but others will need some practices, at least 1 or 3 months. After doing practices only, they will come to this half wheel pose, which will help you to your digestive system, and which will strengthen your spine. And if you are suffering from any heart problems, it will help you to get rid of it. Then we do bridge pose. That is good for the back pains, and it will help you to calm your mind. Then we do Paschimottanasana asana, which is the forward bending one, which will help you to release your stress and calms the brain, and also improve your digestion. Then we do wind blowing pose, which also good for your digestion system. That is why if the digesting it has not happened properly, if you have not cleansed your colon properly, then you will have a big stomach. Then you will feel uncomfortable. So the yoga will help you to reduce of your tummy. So then we do the standing poses like tree pose. That is helping you to strengthen your leg muscles and also the balancing of the body. It will also use and stimulate all the body muscles when you do balancing poses. And we do both pose. That is good for asthma. And if you have any mentally blocks, you can get rid of it. So that is stimulate your ab muscles. And so why I'm telling do the asanas before practicing pranayama, because the normal people, they have blocks mentally in their body. So that mental blocks will block your nadi. That block is that if the nadis are not working properly, that means you are your pranic energy. When you do pranayama, the pranic energy will not move through your body properly. Then only then the inner organs or the muscles and the nerves are getting weaker. Then you will have some symptoms of some kind of disease. So that is why you have to practice these poses properly. Then you can get rid of all the mind blocks, and then you can do the pranayama to cleanse your body, and you will get the energy to live a healthy life. So apart from asana, in yoga, there are 8 limbs, 8 steps, we call it. That is yama, niyama, Ishvara Pradhani, and asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So those limbs also you have to follow. Those limbs will help you how to live, how to treat yourself, and how to live with others. So yamas is you should not do those type of things. In yoga, if you want to learn it further, rather than when you're practicing yoga, the teacher will tell you to follow these things also. So first one is ahimsa. That means you should not do anything to harm your body. That means you should not kill your body. You can kill your body having negative foods or with the negative feelings. Then second one is satya. Satya means you cannot tell any lies. You cannot, you have always have to tell the truth. So then the third one is asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Stealing means you are not taking anything, any objects physically, but if you see someone is wearing a nice dress, and if you see that I would like that dress, I would like to have it, that is also some kind of a thief, that you are having the interest on that person's dress or anything, maybe a house or a vehicle. That is also a stealing. You are stealing that person's belongings. So that also you should not do. So then the other one is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means sensual indulgence censor. That means you are you have the senses, but you have to control of that senses. Then the aprigraha. Aprigraha means the greediness. Maybe some are greedy for money, for some other things, have to want to collect some thing, greedy for food. So you should not be like this. So when you do deeper, when you go deeper in this journey, you will get to learn these things also. Then the second limb is niyama. Niyama means saucha, santosha, and tapas and swadhyana. Right? Saucha means you have to be a purity. You have to be in purity. You have to physically, mentally, emotionally have to be a pure person. Then santosha means always live with happy, having positive thoughts only. Then tapas means you have to have a discipline in your life. That is tapas. When you do yoga, you have to follow this. Then swastidana means you can read a religious book or some kind of good things like that. You can practice that. Then Ishvara Pradhana, that means you are surrendering everything to the higher energy, to the God. Whatever it happens, whatever you do, you surrender it to the God. Then comes the asana. Third one comes as the asana. That means you know the poses. That is you are doing physically. So the next one is pranayama. That is also you do. You know that with the control of your breath. Then pratyahara. That is withdrawal of your senses. We practice when you do in a class, we practice pratyahara also. So if you want to see or if you want to listen a bad thing, you get rid of it. Or if you want to see some kind of bad thing, you know that that is bad. So you are going away and you don't want to see it. Like that, you will get the strength to not to do those things when you practice yoga. Then the dharana. Dharana means concentration. Of course, you people have concentration. That's why you all have come into this level in your academic level or the profession. And then next comes the dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. So you are okay. This one, the Bhujangasana will demonstrate. This is good for the most of the working people are telling that they have back pains, and some are getting when you closer to 60 or 50 this wrist pain, and everybody is having this headaches at the end of the day. So you lie down like this and you keep your palms closer to your chest. Then you raise the upper body. This is, you relax your shoulders and neck and you bend your elbows like this and you stay like this. This is called the Bhujangasana. This is a back bend and it is good for your back pains. You can get rid of it and also you can get rid of the headaches. Okay. This is you are doing in the sun salutation. And then the next one, I'll do the half wheel one. That is a bit advanced one. I'll do another one called bridge pose. You lie down like this on the back. And those who can touch your ankles like this, or else you can keep your hands down without touching the ankles. Then you raise your hip up, curving your back like this, right? Then you have to lock your chin here on your chest area and you stay like this, right? I told you it will help you to strengthen your spine, right? You can stay in one pose for 5 breathings or 10 breathings. Then I'll do what else? The Pakshimottasana. You sitting on this, we call this Dandasana. Then you inhale, when you exhale, you bend forward and try to touch wherever you can. And this, when you have this flexibility of your spine, you can go down, bend further. You stay like this. Okay. That is good to release your stress. And You can calm your brain. Then this is called the fish pose. This is good if you have any sleeping disorders, right? You keep your hands like this, elbows touching the floor, and you bring the top of the head on the mat and curving your spine upward. You stay like this. Right? Then if you really have the flexibility, you can do this half wheel. That is good for your digestive system. Some may have that problem. And you also can strengthen the spine. Also, this is good for your heart because with the help of this pose, you will be able to open your chest area. So you revert your hands under your shoulders and bend your knees like this. With the help of your hands and legs, you are raising your body upward. Right? This is called the wheel pose. This also you can stay for 5 to 10 breathings. Right? Those are normal poses. Then I'll show you one standing posture that is good for that is a balancing pose, which stimulate all your body muscles and strengthen your legs. So you keep focusing on one point, and we are trying to raise the right leg up. You bring your heel up to the ankle level and see whether you can stay on balance. Then you slowly raise your leg up to your thigh level, or if you can't raise up to this level, you can keep it on the calf level, or you can take it up like this. You can stay like this, hands together on chest area, or if you really have the balance, you can raise your hands like this and stay. This also you can stay for 5 to 10 breathings. This is called the tree pose, a balancing pose, which will help you to calm your mind and also to strengthen your legs. When you do to one leg, also do to the other side also. Right. Then I'll show you how to do the boat pose, which is good for the those who are suffering from asthma. And if you have a big tummy, you can get rid of it. You can squeeze your abs. Right? You lie down like this and you raise your hands and legs and come to this position. Right? This is called the boat pose. You focus on your eyes on the big toes and you stay like this. In this pose also you can stay for 5 to 10 breathings. You won't be able to raise your legs or upper body like this. Wherever position you can stay like this, or you may be somewhere like this. Try and come up and raise your legs and upper body and try to stay with your buttocks. Then you will feel the vibration in your abdominal muscles. Okay. I hope that is enough for the basic. Overweight person, any poses that person can do, it is better to start with this sun salutation because it will help you to tone your body and you can get rid of your weight. So then only you will be able to do the other asana, other poses. Also the boat pose is good, and I have to see that person, how, what kind of a flexibility or the body movements that person can do, then we can help. So that's why I'm asking, go to a teacher or a master, get the guidance and do yoga. This is overweighting means your mind has stored so many things there. That's why you are getting the increasing the body. So when you get the help to calm down your thoughts, and when you get the help to reduce the mind problems, you will automatically come to the good weight. And you can be sometimes we allow them to do only half salutation. That is only the standing poses like this. I'll demonstrate it. You raise your hands up and you do the inhale, then you exhale in and coming down as much as they can. Then you take the hands onto your knee level and stretches your spine and do an inhale. Then again, you bend down and do the exhale, and you raise the hands up and you come to this stage, right? You are raising your body up and down. That will help them to get the flexibility. Then they will able to, when they get the energy, when you do yoga, you will get the energy. So then you will be able to do that. So normally after 60s, we don't allow them to do the normal salutation, sun salutation, as I hope all the young crowd is connected with us today. That's why I asked you all to do sun salutation. For 60 above people, if they have the flexibility, then we'll allow them to do the half sun salutation, and or else if they have the flexibility, if they are able, then we'll help them to do the full sun salutation. Otherwise, we'll recommend them to do chair yoga, sitting on a chair and moving the body up and down. And also, those who can't reach up to the level of doing sun salutation, we help them to do it in some other levels. I mean, we can reduce the pain that they are getting, and we demonstrate in another way. So it different from person to person. When you go to a class, that teacher will help them to do. So after practicing the other poses, I mean the basic poses for 1 or 2 months, then they will be able to do the sun salutation. Because you have the blocks in your mind and you don't have the flexibility, that's why you can't move your body properly and you cannot do the sun salutation.
Yeah, reaching to the end, I would invite Mr. Lucky De Silva to deliver the thanking note on behalf of MUTA.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Ms. Nirvana Fernando for spending this evening with us. Thank you very much for your introduction on yoga. Thank you very much for demonstrating sun salutation and also advising us the foot patterns, the way we should meditate. I am sure most of the participants who are connecting today will get a lot of benefits. Thank you very much for introducing pranayamas. So we at MUTA strongly believe that everyone who connected will be beneficial from this session. So we wish you all the very best in your yogic journey. Secondly, I would like to thank everyone who connected today online, including head of the department, dear lecturers, MUTA members, students. Thank you very much, everyone. We believe you have learned something new for your life. So we at MUTA really grateful for your connectivity today, spending your valuable time with us. Really appreciate. That's encouragement for us at MUTA. Last but not least, really would like to appreciate Executive Committee led by Dr. Jayamali. So thank you, Dr. Jayamali. Thank you, MUTA Executive Committee, for gathering this event today. So really believe everyone, each and every one of us will be getting benefited from this kind of sessions. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.